Guys, look at this beautiful wedge. I love a falling wedge. They're one of my favorite patterns. They tend to break out the majority of the time to the upside. And as we can see here, we traded this exact similar wedge at the start of the bull run. I've traded so many of these wedges, but the same sort of play happened that I'm kind of expecting to happen now. You can see here how we broke out of this wedge. We came to the top side, the downside, the top. You know, you long the bottom, you short the top. The trend is your friend until you break one of the resistances. And I normally wait for a daily close just to make sure you've got some confirmation, because you can get these little fake outs here and there. But the majority of the time, around 60, 70, even 80% of the way into the wedge, they break to the upside. And there's so many more people now watching patterns and watching TradingView. So these things become a self-fulfilling prophecy a lot of the time. When you close above, a lot of money flows into it, which then makes it a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Everyone's expecting it to happen, so it happens. And you usually go straight to the top of the wedge in a very short amount of time. And we can kind of see that happening right now with BTC breaking out of this new wedge, right? So the target for me personally, okay, not financial advice, the target for me personally is 105k. I've posted on my X GMTP 105k. I'm currently around 289% in profit. Very similar to the last breakout we traded back when BTC was breaking out around 69k, and I said TP 100k. I think it went to 109k in the end, so it's absolutely crazy run. You can see here I made around $84,000. In total, I think I made around $200,000 because I had two trades on. One was 40x on MEXC, and then I had my 20x trade on BingX. So it was around 200k move. Am I going to make that again? Who knows, guys? I've already made an absolute killing. We took some longs down here around 77k on Solana. We've been long in Say, been making an absolute killing with the guys here. Look, the guys have been absolutely printing in the Discord. Big up the Discord community. I think you see some of my trades here. Yeah, you can see my one of my BTC trades here. Solana. I was long in Solana from around 102. Started to long Say recently, actually. This is kind of a fresh long. I think it's like 60% in profit now. It was 30%, but it's like 60 or something percent. Sui was amazing. Sui, I actually set a trailing stop loss and it came back and hit, but I'd made so much money on that, guys. I think I made like $30,000 on that. So I'm more than happy to hit a trailing stop loss if I'm 30 grand up, because I don't want to be holding these trades into losses or negative. If I'm up 500%. It's more than I wanted to make on the trade anyway. So, you know, I'm more than happy with that. So these tend to move very, very fast to the upside. They're one of my favorite patterns to trade. We've been talking about this on my live streams in the community. You can see here, I was talking about it recently. So yeah, really interested in a breakout. If we get a daily close above this white line, and we get a daily close above the SMC, big buy zone. I would enter another long. I would enter a new long on BingX and probably MEXC if we can climb above this, because the thing with these falling wedges is they move so fast, guys, and the target is the top of the wedge, and the amount of times I see them fly up to the top of the wedge in a few days or even a week. So really nice trade, guys. It's been very hard to trade, waiting because it's been going on since we had our downtrend indicator flashed on the SMC bot back in December, right? We actually started shorting, I think, in January. So I actually started shorting here on the retest. But great signal here indicating that we might be a little bit overbought. The greens as well, you can see here the greens indicate that you are getting into overbought conditions. And when you go from overbought into downtrend candle, usually it's followed by some downside. The good news is that we still haven't hit the green overbought candles, right? So we've gone through the grays into the blues where you're looking for a reversal, and then you'll usually get some greens. So it's looking good for now. For now, my target is still 105. Can we go higher? Hey guys, if we break into a new all-time high, yes, you can go into a blue sky breakout. What's that mean? There's no previous resistance levels, right? So nobody knows how high it's going to go. Personally, I am going to take profits around here. Why? Because I'm trading. This isn't the bear market anymore. I'm not sitting holding most of my bags anymore. I've taken a lot of profits. We got into some assets that were like, Solana was like $23, right? I'm not going to be holding it over 300. I've made more than I wanted to. I'm waiting for the bear market. But what I am doing is trading on the moves to the upside and the moves to the downside. And I'm going to take profits at 105k. Of course, I'm going to be analyzing the market as well. What's going on with Ukraine, Russia. What's going on with China and tariffs. It's a very news-orientated market right now. So yes, TA is acting kind of consistent, so we can definitely use TA as a tool to trade these markets. But for me, I'm more of a macro investor. I know I talk about charts a lot, and I do love charts, but I am more of a macro investor. And you might have seen me flipping and flopping with the news. Well, that's because the S&P almost got closed, right, because of the news. The market bounced pretty much because of the news. When Trump announced that there was a 90-day pause on tariffs, the entire market ran. So you're not going to see that from the charts. If you were trading on the charts, you probably would have got liquidated or hit a stop loss. So I am always, every single day, on the news. What's the latest news? And if we're putting the news along with the charts, along with the smart money data, which also helps us sort of get a little bit of edge, because the smart money and the insiders and the institutions and the funds tend to get the news a little bit early, we can try and front run these markets, right? As we saw, the smart money were actually selling up here when everyone was getting bullish and ETFs funds were flooding in. The smart money were taking profits, and just as down here, we started to see a little bit of buy-in from the smart money as well. So really, really cool tools that will help us trade these markets. I hope we do hit our target of 105k, because I'm going to absolutely print, and then I'm going to take profits and look for my next possible trade. Now, what would happen if we pushed up to 105k? Let's say 110k is pretty much the all-time high. That's going to be a massive move, guys. From 75k all the way up to 109k would be a 46% move. Now, that's a lot to push in a very short amount of time, especially with these wedges, because they do move up very, very fast. And what happens is, if you do push up very fast, you're usually going to have some sort of a cool down or correction. It's very unlikely that you're just going to continue to go up in a straight line, right? You're probably going to come down for a correction, or there's a high chance of that happening, and I like to trade the probabilities. You're also going to have a triple top, okay? So this is going to be the third time that we've come up to this level, and it's a nice short for me personally. Depending on what's going on with the news, I'm going to be looking at the macro. Hey, maybe it turns into a long, who knows, depending on what goes on in the macro. But for me personally, based on the technicals right now, it would be a short position for me. And then it's a kind of, are we going to make a higher low, right? Because we are still in a downtrend, despite what the chart looks like. We're still in a downtrend. We had our high up here. We made a low down here. Now, the question is, are we going to make a higher low and actually close above this, right? Are we going to come down for a retest and make a higher low? Or are we just still in a downtrend and we're going to come down like this? Okay, nobody knows, but those are the trades I'm going to be looking at over the next few days or weeks. So for now, I'm still long, guys. I would be very surprised based on the way that gold has been rallying. If we don't push up, we're kind of around, I would say we're kind of around this region right now. We've been in this consolidation period. Bitcoin actually lags gold by around 2 to 3 months. And gold had this big move up, and we didn't see that big move up on BTC. So it does kind of feel like we've been in this spring, we've been in this consolidation. We're now starting to follow gold. Obviously, the M2 money supply has been rallying up as well. So we are following that. The question is, do we have the momentum to actually break out of this all-time high, or are we going to go into a cool down? Now, don't forget, what's this yellow marker I've put here, guys? It's selling may go away. Classically tends to be a bit of a sell-off in the markets in May, and again, we know more and more investors are looking at these sayings in investing and crypto, and they can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So that's my trade setup for now. Again, guys, not financial advice. Do your own research. Investing in crypto is highly risky. You can lose all your money investing in anything, not just crypto. So always do your own research, and take precautions when you are looking to trade. Don't forget, if you want to get involved with us, if you want to see all my buy and sell alerts, head over to my channel. You can see all my buy and sell alerts. Here is my account, and you can see all my sort of trade setups, what I'm doing, when I'm planning to buy, and you can see my dog as well. So yeah, loads of content on there, and I've also got a free Telegram, so it's completely free, my Telegram. So I do post every now and then. I post like market updates, so a bit more macro, what's going on in the macro, and sometimes I post gems in there. I did post something we were buying early. We were dabbling with some meme coins that I posted in there early. So if you want to see that, head over there. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube video to stay up to date with all the latest. Until then, I will catch you guys in the next one.